We want to take the time to welcome our new listeners and welcome back our continued listeners from the United States, Ukraine, Canada, Japan, Bangladesh, Hungary, Spain, United Kingdom, Austria, France, Turkey. In the United States, we have Wisconsin, Illinois, Utah, Virginia, Maryland, California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, Oregon, and Washington. Thank you so much. We appreciate that you're taking the time to listen, and we hope that you enjoy our episodes and what we're talking about, and try to get the message out there. Thank you.
Do the same thing, get the same results. Breathing like Batman, stronger than the Hulk. Running to the bank, teller, dumping for the boat. On my town shit, Ben Affleck. Whole nigga, cuz most men just have step. Ride hard, motherfucker, and I ain't crashed yet. You don't know, or you do know. I'm like Mario Puzo with Cujo. You don't get it, I'm a prolific animal. Every verse flammable. Weird like murder, thinking like Hannibal. Man like face, but I'm wild like B.A. Bullets to your head when you talking to the DA, talking to the judge, and I be in the cab cause I think the car bug. I don't play with hard luck, killing your homeboy, now you call that hard love. Treat you like a blunt and I'm getting you sparked up.
We don't play, we handle problems the worst way. Forget your shot, stabbed, robbed on your birthday. Nigga, you ain't got no business round here in the first place. Look at everybody chilling, and fuck that, I'ma play the villain. Fuck that, I'm here to make a killing. All money's good money, weed, and this is filling. Small money, tall money, nigga, we want it all. Left hand on the whip, other hand on the drum. Need on ice pick through your right hand, hard like a rock, hard to drop like Spider-Man. Park the pretty cars up, hop inside the rider van. Punch it like one for a couple $100 spend. Drive on the street, Lord, knowledge of a college man. Almighty dollars get you dead, make your mama plan. Nothing like this down the door, I'ma make the commas dance. Numbers jump, high, numb and drunk in my drama stand. You know, fly zone, you don't get a city chance. Show, that's a show, make your hoes pitch in skinny pants. I'm with Sammy, so my haters can't stand me. You jam. Run the niggas over like Brandy.
So Pac-Man Jones is in the garbage too. He used to play for Cincinnati. He's a football player.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, dude's an asshole. I ain't never really liked him and shit. I mean, I didn't like how, like, it seemed like the NFL back in the day. He hasn't played in some years now, but it seemed like, even you know the name sounds familiar, because, like, it did seem like the NFL used to fuck with dude a lot and shit like that, but, I mean, I don't know all the details of stuff he did or supposedly didn't do, so, but anyway, so this Pac-Man Jones, though, he's in the garbage, basically, is my point, because he's a Trump supporter, and dude's on here, he was on that trash-ass show, Breakfast Club, and, he's a Trump supporter, and he's basically just saying how he don't give a fuck, who don't like it, he don't give a fuck about how he's got money and shit like that. He was just saying how, like, him and his guys and shit, they done got out the hood. He said him and his guys ain't in the hood no more, and they're all doing well, so he's voting for himself. That's the whole problem, Pac-Man Jones. That's the problem. That selfish-ass voting. You know, it's just like, it seems like, in totality, like, overall, like, remember I was saying some of that, it feels like some of that togetherness as black people is kind of fading away a little bit. It just feels like it's not like as tight-knit as it used to be. Like, I thought as black people, we were always on the same page when it came to race, especially if there was some white person spewing racism. We all know Trump's a racist. Some people just acknowledge it, some people deny it, some people make up excuses for it, or whatever, or they say the bullshit, oh, that was a long time ago bullshit, and all that stuff, right? So, but anyways, it's Pac-Man Jones. He's the perfect example of the bullshit mentality of these Trump supporters. So just listen to this clown-ass idiot talk shit, and just listen how he talks about how he doesn't care because he's got money. He's got money. He ain't struggling no more. He's good. So he's willing to leave the rest of his people behind, or, you know, some of his people behind that haven't got out the mud yet, that are still in the hood, that are still struggling, that do need services and stuff like that, that they're taking away and all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, he might as well be white. He's clearly supporting the racists, and he knows all that stuff. I'm going to play this clip. Well, Michelle.
I just want to say real quick.
Yeah.
I notice now the people that don't like what's happening are not like rich people.
Right.
Or just people in a different
for the most part
bracket.
For the most part, right. It's the people, right.
It's the people that use this Medicare, Social Security. I mean, rich people, when they retire, they're entitled to Social Security too, but they don't need it. They don't live off of it.
Right.
People that need these services.
Like need them.
Like need them to survive.
That's not just a saying. They need them. They
people that care that their mortgage interest rate has gone up or that the price of food has gone up. Those people are starting to be like, wait a second, like scratching their head like, this is not what we signed up for. You said you were going to save us money.
Which he's doing none of that. If people pay attention to what Trump has been doing the first 45 or 50 days, he's been firing people, getting back at people,
getting rid of
just
shit,
on a revenge tour and playing golf.
And pouring cement over the rose garden.
Yeah, and pouring cement over the rose garden. Dudes like pulling the grass up and all this other type of shit. And having car shows, auto shows at the White House.
It's so stupid.
That's the type of stuff he's doing. He's not doing. When has any Trump supporter heard him come up in front of the podium and be like, okay, so like all the stuff that he's, you know, I said I was going to work on, and we're doing this, and we're tackling this, and we're working on this. I haven't heard none of that shit. Have you heard any of that?
No.
When he's up in front of the podium, he's either complaining about somebody, saying how somebody fucked him over, or he's tweeting some bullshit, or he's golfing, or he's saying how he's going to take this away and get rid of that. That's all he's been doing, y'all.
And like we were talking about that article that I read on the previous episode, was it? The USDA getting rid of the farming thing with that gives food to food banks. How does that not align with your plan? So you're saying getting fresh food to people in need is not in your plan. Then what are you saying?
Exactly.
That those people don't matter.
Yeah.
That's how I would receive it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Sorry, we got a little sidetracked. You can play the clip now.
Yeah, I'm going to play this clip
now.
Yeah. It's about it's a minute and 48 seconds. Hold on, let's see.
Because you're a Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I am. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. Like, my opinion is my opinion who I like. Like, I was somewhere, like, 2 weeks ago, and the dude said, man, I seen you with that Trump hat on. I said, okay, what is your problem? And he just went in on me like, he ain't trying to take away Social Security. I said, okay, that's cool. You done it. Like, my opinion is my opinion. As far as business-wise, I agree with Trump. I got paper. And all my folks that was in the hood, they good.
You got the economy fucked up right now.
Fucking me. Huh?
You got the economy fucked up.
It's gonna get up. You know that shit gonna get up. You know that shit gonna get up, bro.
I don't know.
You don't think so? Well, the last two motherfuckers ain't did shit for you. It was down when they was in this motherfucker.
Oh, listen, I don't believe in none of them. But, I just think...
it's going to get back up.
I don't know.
I think so.
Only reason I say that is because we have 11 recessions in this country. 10 of them have been led by Republicans.
Yeah.
And the economy does do better when there's a...
Not when Trump was in that last time, though.
Yeah. We was right there through the recession. The only thing that stopped the recession was COVID.
No, the only thing that stopped recession was Trump getting nigga check.
COVID. He gave him the check for COVID.
But COVID was planned.
I can't anymore. Basically, that's just like we're sitting here shaking our head at the idiocy. Dude's talking about a check. That's why some of our people supported that bitch. Because of that damn stimulus check.
People were taking PP,
those PP loans and shit like that?
Yes. Well, they're coming after the people that did not pay them back now.
Because there was a lot of them that were getting a lot of more extra money that they didn't even need. There were people, I know people that said that they got money. I don't know them personally, but I know from a person that said that they had a business owner friend, and this person told them that they got so much money, they still had money left over they didn't even know what to do with. They're like, bro, I got all this money, like, I didn't even need all of this. It was thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It wasn't...
Just put it in the bank, you have to use it,
right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you have anything left over, you had to return it or something. I don't know what the rules were, but you had to spend it.
Yeah.
So people were just buying shit, but they want that money back now.
That's crazy as hell. So basically, Pac-Man Jones, you don't give a fuck about racism. He knows Trump's a racist.
He said he's only worried about himself.
He's only worried about himself, and that's the issue. It was a lot of people out here jumping out here on this selfish ass. And he don't need shit.
Like, he's set.
He's set. He don't need nothing. So how about be a team player and jump on board with the Democrats, because the majority of your people are going that way. See what I'm saying? Like, why not do that? Why write all that shit? Like, just like that. Just that's that mentality. That's that bitch ass mentality, man. Fuck, dude. I hate that shit.
And when you're a role model and your words out of your mouth are, I just care about myself. That's not a role model.
Nope. There ain't nothing leaderish about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's some bullshit. Yeah, but that's the mentality. And it's a smaller percentage still. It's still that Pac-Man Jones and people like that, they're still the minority.
Well,
but it's just
a smaller percentage now because a lot of people that were like, oh, he's going to help me, are now like, wait a second, he's not helping me.
He's screwing us over.
He's screwing me over. Yep.
And that's the thing, that as I was saying, though, like people like us who are supporting Harris, although we all may be having these same consequences, our conscience isn't guilty.
No,
we don't have to feel guilty about
knew this was gonna
right,
happen.
And we made the right choice. So, like that's one thing we don't have to deal with is the emotional part of it. Like, damn, I fucked up. Damn, we don't have to do because we didn't fuck up.
Like, man,
and we spent a lot of time.
We
spent a lot of time trying to tell people on a lower scale on our little podcast or whatever. But we spent a lot of time reading stuff, telling people, hey, consider this, don't do that. Hey, look this, blah blah blah, and it's just like. That's why they're saying, like, well, where's the Democrat leader? What? They ain't got a foot to stand on.
Right.
And basically, don't nobody want to, no, I don't mean don't nobody, but, you know, it's the same. Don't nobody want to hear what Democrats are talking about right now. That's why this people are like, where's the Democratic leader? They're not fighting. That's what we are trying to do during the election, idiots.
Right.
That's what the election was for, and people are fatigued the fuck out now. That's why.
Well, and Democratic leaders' hands are tied. I mean, what can they do? What can they do?
Nothing.
I mean, they can bitch and argue and
Not like us. It's protest. All you can do.
right, but they can't change anything. They can't stop him.
Right.
Even judges are trying to stop him, and they're like, no. They don't have authority over the executive branch. Yes, they do.
Right.
They're just... Because they're just like an executive order is an executive order. And you know why he's doing all these executive orders? Because he honestly knows that even though Congress is Republican run, they wouldn't put the stuff through. He knows they wouldn't.
Right. Right.
He wouldn't get enough votes on these things. So he's doing it executive order.
And the courts are knocking down a lot of the shit that he's been trying, like the citizenship thing. Right, he's just trying it and just saying, oh, this might go through. This might go through. Because what he wants to do, because he thinks he has a Supreme Court in his pocket, so he's doing all this shit, and then when it gets shot down, he knows it'll go to the Supreme Court, so then he's hoping they'll rule in his favor.
And doesn't it look like they won't?
It doesn't look like. I think they're just starting to wise up, because it feels to me, maybe they start to think like they're being used, and they don't want people to think like Trump has them in their pocket. Remember during that address or whatever he did a few weeks ago, and he walked and he shook Robert's hand, and he was like, oh, thanks. He was like, I'll never forget it. All like...
But then that Roberts came out against him.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The Chief Justice Roberts.
Yeah, and then that Amy Coney Barrett, she wouldn't even look at him.
They're feeling used. Nobody wants to feel like someone has you under their control and they can just tell you what, you know what I mean?
Because whether they like him or not, they still respect the rule of law.
That's what they do.
That's their job.
That's literally what they do.
And
that's literally what they do. And Trump and them seem to believe that because he's president, like, that his word is bond, and it just, like, kind of just swallows up any other thing. Like, what do you think that fucking judge is there for? That's what he does. Anytime, and I know this because I've been to court, I've been sentenced, I've been, basically, I say the guinea pig. I've been the person that has to go through all this. Go to court, get charged, get sentenced. And after you get sentenced, you appeal your sentence. They offer that to everybody. That's one of the things they say. Right after you get sentenced, you have up to 21 days, I think it is, to appeal this sentence. Your attorney has the paperwork. That's just like a part of the process. You don't get to say you don't like a judge and you're going to impeach him because he doesn't agree with that. Ain't how shit works.
Right.
I know. I've been to court. I know how all that shit works. It's a process. And then when you go to appellate judge, that's what that judge does. That's his fucking job.
And like you can hear him calling these people. I put you in there.
Right. You don't get to just skip over shit, skip over steps. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. And no one can tell. I hate saying this, but no one can tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I know how the court system works. I've been sentenced a few different times. I've been to preliminary court, intake court, all that shit. That's how it works. You get sentenced, you go to court, you do all of that stuff. If you lose it, you could get a little ass sentence, right? And you can still appeal that. So you have the ability. I don't care how small or short the sentence is. You have the ability to appeal it. But that's the other thing. Trump and them knows that stuff takes a while.
Right.
And he doesn't want to go through that. He doesn't want to be patient, wait. So he's trying to skip over that step.
Well, and while that's going through that process, he's going to continue doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to ship people out of here. And then when it's reversed and they're like, bring these people back, can't.
Oh, and speaking of that, the judge gave them an extension. Basically, Trump and them ain't got no list with people's names. The judge is probably like, yo, I need the names. They need the names of the people that are on that fucking plane getting transferred, and they don't have it.
And then somebody asked...
they don't have that list of names.
That lady, don't even want to call her that, they're just like, you know, why can't you give the names? And she was like, it's a privacy issue. And she said, but you had no problem showing their faces on camera.
Exactly.
If you were concerned about their privacy, you're showing their faces, so what's the difference with giving their names?
Right.
And then she gave some other freaking excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And basically, like, we don't have to. The president believes that they're part of the Trace Amigos gang or whatever it's called.
Right.
And so that's how it is.
Or they're going to tell everyone they're a MS-13 gang member and shit. Because what a lot of those people that were on that plane, I don't know the number, but I believe there was some straight up U.S. citizens on that plane. And that's the other part. That's some straight up bogus ass bullshit. But they don't have a list of them names of them people on there. You got to have a list of their name, their government names, their inmate number, because they have an inmate number and all that stuff. Their race, their height, their weight, all that stuff. Because anytime you get moved around from a prison or a jail, they have your card. And before you get on the bus or whatever, all that shit, they ask you. They tell you they look at you, they tell you to read your inmate number and your name and all that shit. And they look at you to make sure it's you. And then you get on the bus. And then you get on the bus. They have all that information right there. That's basic shit. And that's what these people, these Trumpers, they don't have a list of these people's names. I'm telling you, that's what the fucking holdup is. Dude's waiting for a list of them names. Because he needs to be able to go through that list and see who's who and what their status is. And they don't have a list.
He gave them an extension.
That's what the extension is. For more details about the people
right.
being deported.
But what's the extension to?
I don't know. It sounded like maybe a day more or whatever. So what are they going to create a fucking... I'm telling you, that's what it is. They don't have a list of all 400 or however many people on that plane.
Because what's wrong with giving the judge a list... and having it sealed. So,
exactly.
the public can't see it.
Exactly.
You could submit it sealed.
Right.
If you're concerned about, privacy.
What is a privacy? You can't be that's secure. That's a security risk.
Right, but I'm just saying if you're so worried about it, you only want it for the judge's eyes only, you can submit it under seal.
For sure. Yeah, but he needs to see who's on.
What's wrong with giving the list? What's wrong with it? If you're so confident that these people were part of this, these 300 people were part of this gang, what's wrong with giving the list? You should be proud to give the list.
Yeah.
And just say, here are the confirmed gang members of this Venezuelan gang, and we got them out. You're so proud of it, you would give the list, right?
And that's what lets you know that there's bullshit involved. Because when you can't provide the paperwork that someone's asking you for, there's something going on.
It's like saying, can I see a copy of the warrant? Yeah.
Show them a McDonald's menu and shit?
Yeah, I want to see a copy of the warrant before you come in. Oh, yeah, here.
Like on training day?
Yeah.
Remember
or
that shit?
Can I see your badge? Real quick. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to pull a fast one.
That's what they're doing. Yeah. That's all they're trying to do.
I can't believe I drank that coffee so fast. It was delicious.
Mm-hmm. It is March Madness Day too, y'all. I took UCLA to go all the way, and Michelle took Florida. So go UCLA Bruins and go Florida Gators. Even though I hate the state of Florida, y'all, I know we got a couple Florida listeners. Y'all know how it is. You got to, hey. I wouldn't recommend anyone black going down there. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, back to the episode. Yeah, but fuck Pac-Man Jones. Dude's a clown. He don't care about racism. Yep. Pac-Man Jones, you in the trash. Not that, and I know he doesn't care, and I don't care that he doesn't care. Like when I say, and Michelle says that we got people we're throwing in the trash, we don't care if these people don't care. You know what I mean? Because if we were to be you're in the trash, like Snoop Dogg, we threw him in the trash, right? If Snoop Dogg knew that he wouldn't give a fuck, but I don't care that he don't give a fuck. I'm letting y'all know how he feel. You know what I mean? Right, baby? We don't care that he don't give a fuck. All right, y'all, back to the episode. You know what? I'm going to play a little Miles Davis real quick for about a minute, y'all. Enjoy this. This is Miles Davis, John Coltrane, and Bill Evans. I'm going to play about 90 seconds. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening, y'all, and I hope life's treating y'all well. I really do.
Are you starting to see any movement?
Shout out Audie Cornish. And shout out Carrie Champion. She's on her show today. They're talking about the education department and Trump's bitch ass. He's going to sign an executive order to close it. But Congress has to approve that shit.
From the president. We've been talking about what the fallout of this could look like for weeks. It is starting to register with folks that this is going to happen. But again, that impact of what exactly is coming is something that we're going to be talking about for the weeks and months ahead.
There was a massive constituency for this one. I think coming out of the pandemic, all of these parents who certainly ended up in Moms for Liberty, for example. And there are going to be governors reportedly at this signing. So, Stephen, can you talk about that part of it? Like, they are answering a call.
True. The president is doing something that Republican presidents have said ever since Ronald Reagan that
yes,
they want to do.
I've been hearing this forever.
Every time you go to a conservative political meeting, this is one of the big applause lines. The difference is that most Republican presidents thought that they had to do it through Congress because that's...
This one's out of Oklahoma. This from the Associated Press. This Oklahoma to execute a man who killed a woman 20 years ago in a random home invasion robbery. Wendell Grissom, that's his name if y'all want to do some more digging. It's out of McAllister, Oklahoma. Oklahoma prepared to execute a man on Thursday for fatally shooting a woman during a home invasion robbery 20 years ago. Wendell Grissom, 56, will receive a lethal injection at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAllister in Oklahoma's first execution of 2025, officials said. Grissom and a co-defendant, Jesse Floyd Johns, were convicted of killing Amber Matthews, 23, and wounding her friend, Drew Kopf, at Kopf's Blaine County residence. Johns was sentenced to life in prison without parole. 3 other executions were scheduled this week around the United States. Louisiana put a man to death Tuesday using nitrogen gas for the first time as it resumed executions after a 15-year hiatus. Arizona on Wednesday executed a man by lethal injection who had kidnapped and murdered his girlfriend's ex-husband. Another lethal injection was planned Thursday in Florida. Prosecutors said Grissom, who had a lengthy criminal record, picked up Johns, who was hitchhiking, and the 2 men were driving west on Interstate 40 when they decided to commit robberies. They randomly selected Kopf's home near Watonga, where Matthews was visiting Kopf and her 2 young children. Matthews was shot twice in the head and left clinging to life on the floor as Kopf, also shot twice and seriously wounded, managed to flee in Grissom's truck to get help. It's probably a 4-150, prosecutors said. They didn't say that, but I'm saying it. Grissom and Johns also fled on a stolen 4-wheeler, but quickly ran out of gas and were captured after hitching a ride to a cafe in a nearby county. Yep. So they're about to take dude out. Yep. Grissom's attorneys did not dispute his guilt, but argued at a clemency hearing that he suffered from brain damage, so what? That was never presented to a jury. The state's pardon and parole board denied Grissom's request. Yep, they're about to fry his ass up. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to our second episode today. It was a shorter one. We just wanted to holler at everyone, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever, and just say we hope life's treating everyone well. Thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll be back tomorrow with another one. If y'all can't tell by now, we podcast pretty much every day. It might be like one day out the week where we don't, but you know what I mean? So with that, we'll get out of here and enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend coming up, and keep yourself safe, protect your peace, and do something good for somebody. All right, y'all. Peace.
Let's go, Russ. Whether it's this side or whether it's that side, look how they salute
Yeah, kicking on the mic, Mr. Wicked on the mic. It's an undisputed fact. I ain't slipping on the ice. I could be in a snowstorm and feel hot. Yeah, I'm healthy, but I'm the sickest in the safe. Liquor in the night and some nights and some weed I can light. Flowing with Russ, beat came from 9th. Told him I'm the 10th one, the maybe the first. I could kill him with the thought, or maybe your first got the handgun. Homie, but it ain't in the purse, not a man bag. Thought your man had your back. Then he saw me split up your front, had the lax. Me, I'm in LAX. Just ran through New York like LA next. MIA after that. Cross me, then it's MIA after that. No Ghostbuster, not even with a plasma gas. This a cool red, I am an old head. Pop by a skinny chick, riding a moped. Locked with no dreads. Niggas seen the dread when I'm there. Ex-nigga kid, yeah, you throw bread in the air. Lines. You know I got a brain for war, but I'm cool now. Cause I got chain stores, yeah. And we moving help in the hood. You salute or you gon' need help in your hood. I'm undisputed, you cannot refute it. Look how they salute me.